Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling tired even though you slept all night? Your stomach feels a little off. Your mind feels cloudy like someone stuffed cotton inside your brain. And you just brush it off saying, I'm just getting older? Yeah, a lot of people say that. But what if that tired feeling, that bloating, those weird random body aches, even those sudden food sensitivities, what if they're not just random problems at all? What if your body has actually been trying to warn you about something deeper happening inside you? Something most people never hear about until it starts causing real damage. Something called a leaky gut. Now I know, that phrase sounds strange at first. Leaky gut? Like your stomach is some broken pipe dripping all over the place? That's what a lot of folks think the first time they hear it. I remember a friend of mine laughing when his doctor mentioned it. He said, "Doc, my stomach ain't leaking." I'd noticed that. But the truth is, this problem is far more subtle and far more common than most people realize. See, inside your digestive system, there's a protective barrier, a lining made of tiny cells packed tightly together. Think of it like a security wall. Its job is simple but incredibly important. Allow nutrients from the food you eat to enter your bloodstream while blocking harmful stuff like toxins, bad bacteria, and undigested food particles. When that barrier is strong, everything works beautifully. Your body absorbs nutrients. Your immune system stays balanced. Energy flows normally. But when that barrier starts breaking down, when tiny gaps form between those cells, suddenly things that should stay inside the gut slip into the bloodstream. And when that happens, your immune system goes into full alarm mode. It starts attacking what it sees as foreign invaders. Inflammation rises. The body gets confused. Symptoms begin appearing in places you would never connect to your gut. And here's the crazy part. Most people miss the early warning signs completely. They blame stress. They blame aging. They blame just having a sensitive stomach. But your body is actually trying to tell you something important. The signals are there if you pay attention. For example, one of the earliest clues people experience is something many of us joke about: bloating. You eat a normal meal. Nothing crazy. Maybe some bread, a little pasta, or even a healthy salad. And an hour later, your stomach feels tight, swollen, uncomfortable. Like you swallowed a balloon. Some people even unbutton their pants because the pressure feels ridiculous. Sound familiar? A lot of folks laugh it off. Man, I must have eaten too fast, or guess I'm getting old. But repeated bloating is often your gut saying, hey, something isn't working right down here. When the gut lining becomes damaged, digestion becomes inefficient. Food sits longer than it should. Bacteria ferment it. Gas builds up. Suddenly, that comfortable meal becomes a mini disaster in your belly. And if that happens day after day, week after week, that's not normal digestion anymore. That's a warning sign. Another sign that sneaks up on people is brain fog. Now this one is weird because it doesn't feel like a stomach problem at all. It feels like a brain problem. You walk into a room and forget why you went there. You lose track of conversations. You reread emails 3 times because your mind won't focus. People describe it like their brain is wrapped in a fuzzy blanket. And here's where things get fascinating. Scientists now talk about something called the gut-brain connection. Your gut and your brain communicate constantly through nerves, hormones, and chemical signals. In fact, many experts call the gut the second brain. When toxins leak through a damaged gut barrier and enter the bloodstream, they can trigger inflammation that reaches the brain as well. Suddenly, your mental clarity disappears. You feel sluggish, slow, irritated. I once heard about a man who thought he was developing early dementia because he couldn't focus at work anymore. His memory kept slipping. He felt exhausted mentally. After months of frustration, he discovered his digestive system was severely out of balance. When he started repairing his gut health, something incredible happened. His mind cleared up. His memory returned. His focus improved. He said it felt like someone flipped the lights back on in his brain. That's how powerful the gut can be. And speaking of strange symptoms, here's one that surprises people even more. Skin problems, yep. Acne, rashes, eczema, rosacea. Many people treat these issues only from the outside. Creams, ointments, expensive skincare products promising miracles. Sometimes they help a little. But if the root problem begins inside the gut, those treatments only scratch the surface. Think about it this way. When toxins escape the digestive tract and circulate in the bloodstream, the body tries to remove them however it can. One of those exit routes is the skin. That's why inflammation inside the body often shows up outside on the skin. Dermatologists are increasingly recognizing this connection. Fix the gut, and sometimes the skin calms down dramatically. Now, another big red flag people overlook is food sensitivities. Maybe you've noticed this yourself. Foods you used to eat without any trouble suddenly start bothering you. Dairy makes you uncomfortable. Bread leaves you sluggish. Certain meals trigger headaches or stomach pain. It feels random at first, but there's actually a reason behind it. When the gut barrier becomes too permeable, larger food molecules can slip into the bloodstream before being fully broken down. Your immune system sees these molecules as invaders and launches an attack. Over time, that immune reaction turns into food sensitivities. Suddenly, your safe foods list becomes smaller and smaller, and people often don't understand why. They think their body is just getting picky. In reality, their gut lining might be struggling to maintain its protective barrier. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Because the gut doesn't just influence digestion or skin or brain clarity. It also plays a huge role in your immune system. In fact, scientists estimate that nearly 70% of the body's immune defenses live inside the gut. That's a massive number. Think about that for a moment. Most of your immune soldiers are stationed right there in your digestive tract, guarding the entry point where food, bacteria, and outside substances enter your body every single day. So when the gut lining becomes damaged and that protective barrier weakens, your immune system is forced to work overtime. It's constantly reacting to things that shouldn't be slipping through. And over time, that constant state of defense can wear the immune system down. That's why some people with gut problems notice they get sick more often. Every cold that goes around the office seems to find them. Minor infections linger longer than they should. Their body feels like it's always fighting something. Sometimes it literally is. And here's another twist that surprises people. Joint pain can also be connected to gut health. Now, I know what you're thinking. My knees hurt because I'm aging, or maybe because I exercise too hard. And sometimes that's true. But chronic inflammation triggered by a compromised gut barrier can travel throughout the entire body. Joints are particularly sensitive to inflammation. So toxins leaking into the bloodstream can irritate joints, causing stiffness, soreness, and discomfort that seems unrelated to digestion. Some individuals who improve their gut health report something fascinating. Their joint pain decreases dramatically. Less inflammation means less pressure on those sensitive areas. The body finally relaxes a little. And perhaps one of the most exhausting signs of all is persistent fatigue. Not the normal kind after a long day of work. I'm talking about that deep tiredness that sleep doesn't seem to fix. You wake up feeling drained. Afternoon crashes hit like a truck. Coffee helps for a little while, but the exhaustion creeps back in. When the immune system is constantly activated because of toxins entering the bloodstream, your body is essentially fighting an invisible battle all day long. That battle requires energy. A lot of energy. And eventually, the system gets overwhelmed. Fatigue becomes your daily companion. What's frustrating is that many people try to push through it. More caffeine, more willpower, less rest. But if the underlying issue involves chronic inflammation triggered by gut permeability, ignoring the problem only prolongs the exhaustion. And here's the thing most people never realize. The modern lifestyle quietly damages gut health in ways our grandparents rarely experienced. Highly processed foods loaded with artificial additives. Excess sugar feeding harmful bacteria. Chronic stress that disrupts digestive function. Overuse of antibiotics wiping out beneficial microbes. Poor sleep patterns. Alcohol consumption. Even certain medications. Individually, these factors might seem harmless, but together, they can gradually weaken the protective lining of the digestive system. Over months or years, the barrier becomes less effective. Small gaps appear, and that's when those strange symptoms start creeping into daily life. But here's the encouraging part of this story. The human body is incredibly resilient. The gut, especially, has an amazing ability to recover when given the right support. People who begin paying attention to their digestive health often experience improvements that ripple through their entire body. Digestion becomes calmer. Energy levels rise. Mental clarity improves. Skin issues settle down. The immune system becomes stronger. It's almost like restoring balance to the control center of the body. And the journey toward better gut health doesn't require extreme measures or complicated medical experiments. Often it begins with simple, consistent habits. Choosing whole foods more often than ultra-processed snacks. Adding fiber-rich vegetables and fruits that feed beneficial bacteria. Including fermented foods like yogurt or kefir that introduce helpful microbes into the digestive system. Drinking enough water. Managing stress through movement, breathing, or quiet moments away from constant digital noise. Getting consistent sleep so the body can repair itself overnight. Small steps repeated daily can produce powerful changes over time. The key is awareness. Listening to the body instead of ignoring its signals. Because your body is constantly communicating with you. Every bloating episode, every burst of brain fog, every unexplained skin flare-up might be part of a conversation your body is trying to have. The question is whether we pause long enough to hear it. And honestly, that's one of the most important lessons people discover as they move through life. Health rarely collapses overnight. It shifts slowly, quietly. Signals appear long before serious illness develops. Those signals are opportunities, little warnings that allow us to adjust course before bigger problems arise. So if some of these signs sound familiar, if you've experienced unexplained bloating, fatigue, skin problems, brain fog, or sudden food sensitivities, it might be worth paying closer attention to your gut health. Not with fear, but with curiosity and care. Because when the digestive system regains balance, something remarkable tends to happen. The rest of the body starts feeling stronger too. Energy returns. Focus sharpens. Everyday life becomes easier. And that's a powerful reminder that sometimes the key to feeling better isn't found in complicated solutions, but in understanding the quiet messages our bodies have been sending us all along.